I'm in the same space as Johnny. I was obviously I was going to be in Poland. I didn't go, and I watched it on television. And I think Carl Frampton's reaction. I'll always listen to the fighters that have actually been there, rather than look at the layman that think they've got an understanding of it. So I listened to Carl Frampton instantaneously come out with a response as it happened. That's not a low blow. And then he doubled down when he got to see the video there and afterwards. I spoke to Spencer, who was there. Who again was in the same space. Carl Froch's got a different view, but some of that might be about his agenda with Frank Warren. But he had a different view about the reality of it, what it was. And Johnny Nelson's saying the same thing. I mean, I had 3 questions, and I'll ask them with Don tomorrow. The first question was, again, the low blow scenario, which I think we're all concurring with the idea. The second part for me was I cannot understand why Daniel Dubois didn't jump on him. I cannot understand it. Because everyone talked about the loss of momentum and the fact he had to stand in the corner for 3.5 minutes waiting for him. I tell you what, if that was Deontay Wilder on the other side of the ring, he could have waited for half an hour. He'd have come across throwing bombs at him.
Yeah.
And I'm also slightly concerned about Daniel's propensity to accept things as he did in the 9th round and not want to put himself back into a dark space. And I'll ask all those of Don tomorrow. But again, I watched the fight, and Johnny's seen the same thing on the Top Rank bill. Where Jared Anderson had a fight over the weekend against Rudenko. And if you want to see that, you want to see the punches that Jared Anderson landed, about 10 of them in one round on the belt, and not one desire to call it as an illegal punch from the referee.
Right.
There's so much subjectivity in this. And
Let me tell you what I think. Let me tell you what I think is a low blow. Chris Eubank, the best advice he gave me when I boxed, said, Johnny, always wear 2 protectors. Always put 2 protectors on. I boxed in Germany, and I was getting punched. Middle stump. You know what I mean? So and that's a low blow. There was no end. So the dispute there is a case of human error. The referee, he was in a position where, you know what, he made the decision. It was a wrong decision how he gave him time to milk it. It should have made him count him, made him get back at his feet, and that was it. So unfortunately, it's human error.
But Johnny, can you tell people, because what Don Charles is making a lot of is the subjectivity of a referee's ability to be able to brief before the fight. He talks to the fighters before the fight. He gives you the rules. He tells you what looks like a low blow. And Don Charles is saying that they were explicitly told that punching on the belt wasn't a low blow. Is that something that manifests itself before big fights or any fight?
No, not at all. This is something you unless you're going in there with the intention of actually hitting somebody low.
No, John, the briefing, Johnny, the briefing from the referee.
Yeah, but the briefing that is always the briefing. That is always the briefing from the referee. You'll get a million things told to you what will and won't happen if certain situations happen in the ring. So these things are standard. It's standard behaviour, standard procedure.
Do you think Dubois, as Frank Warren is saying, deserves another tilt at Usyk?
Yeah, but I don't think the result will make it be any different. I honestly don't. And again, even though I agree that the punch wasn't low, even though the referee should have, Usyk should have lost that round and got up and fought straight away. If he'd put the count on him, would have got on his feet pretty quick. He milked it. He did what many footballers do. We see it time and time again. He milked it, and now so you've got other boxers or Don say, you know what, you cheated. He got away with it.
But Johnny, he was in trouble though, wasn't he? I mean, he was in trouble because even after 3.5 minutes, because the referee got tired of him, because the referee could have given him 5 minutes, and he turned around and said to me, "You're getting a minute more." So you could see that the referee was getting tired of him. And we knew that the referee was going to be put under pressure by an extremely partisan crowd, so it was going to be put in that invidious position. But you could see for the first 30 seconds after he'd got himself back on his feet that he was in trouble, John.
Let me just tell you this. The shot was an instinct. When he got hit, he knew he got hurt. He instinctively went down. That hurt him. So that's when you start to gather your force and think, oh, all right, okay. Now he thought, I'll milk it. The referee let him get away with milking it. This is with Usyk. You know, if he gets hit good and hard to the body, so in the amateurs, him getting hit to the body, he got hit there, boom, straight down. He gave him time to play the game.
A lot of messages coming in, Johnny. I mean, there's Dom, who describes himself as the Surrey Gunner. Punching below the top line of the protector is a low blow. Why is there any confusion here?
No. Listen, I'm a fighter. And I know what a low blow is. Harold Graham used to wear his shorts up below his breast. You know what I mean? You can have my hands you can. You've got a protector there. The protector's there for a reason. If you get hit in the middle stump, that's a low blow. He got hit on the waistband of the shorts. It was clear to everybody, and that is not a low blow. Trust me. That's below the waistband is a low blow. It was not below.
Johnny, I mean, Don Charles can say all he likes. Why didn't Dubois go after Usyk when he eventually got back on his feet?
Because the momentum was taken away. That's simple. It was taken away. And listen, sometimes referees will be in a fight and they'll try and, I don't know, make time up or they'll mess you about. You get to the corner, mess with your gloves, take you back to the corner. It just kills the momentum.
But why, Johnny? I mean, I just made the argument, and maybe you can contradict it. If that was Deontay Wilder sitting on the other side of the ring, he could have been waiting for half an hour.
Exactly.
He'd have flown across there throwing bombs.
Yeah, but you know what? He's not a Deontay Wilder. He's not got that instinct. He's not got. And if most of us are true and honest, we hoped Daniel won. We'd hope he'd win. He has he had a punch shot to win the fight. But that instinctive fight, you know, they fight again. The same thing will happen. Exactly the same thing will happen.
Johnny, while we have you on, and we love having you on, we know what happened recently with Dillian White. Adverse analytical finding. So he didn't fight Anthony Joshua. Robert Helenius did. Ironically, now we know that Robert Helenius has tested positive. What is the wisdom of pre-fight drug tests that don't show the results until after the fight?
Okay, so quite clearly him coming at 6 days' notice. He gets the drug test done on a Friday. They find out. They found out when they said they found out. So to me, it's not common. The consequences are not high enough for this will happen again and again and again and again. The governing bodies of our sport need to put something tight in where everybody suffers the consequences.
Absolutely.
But Johnny, what's the purpose? What's the purpose? You saw Alicia Baumgarten get tested 3 days before a fight, right? And there's no possibility or seeming possibility that those results are going to come back before the fight. Surely the objective is to get people tested before a fight, know that they're clean to go into a fight, rather than having all this BS after the fight.
Exactly. The panic's on. They need an opponent. They get somebody in. He's done his drug test. It's ticking the boxes. It's ticking the boxes. It's like having a chocolate fire guard. What a waste of time.
It sure is. I mean, honestly, the sport at times, Johnny, is just a laughing stock.